You're listening to the Tim Kelly Show on KICR Indie Country Radio, and we are doing Triple Play Thursday. That means every artist all show long gets played 3 times in a row, and we're getting ready to do that during this next interview as well with my good friend Dave Revels. How are you, my friend?
Tim, I'm doing fantastic, man. Really good. Glad to hear your voice.
Good to hear yours too, man. And the folks are going to love to hear you sing as well here in just a little bit. And like I said, we're going to play 3 of your great songs, and it's a pleasure to have you on the program. Thanks for doing it tonight.
My pleasure, man. I always like talking to you.
Same here. You know, we've been friends for a while now, and through the magic of the internet, I don't know how you found me, but I'm sure glad you did and put some music in my email.
Well, it was meant for us to hook up. It happened, the forces above us doing that.
Absolutely. You're a former lead singer of a great group called the Drifters, and you've been doing these Motown tribute shows, but recently you embarked on a career trying to make some great country music, and I'm looking at a 16-song album that you have out on your website. It's called The Stories From My Heart. And I say this all the time on the radio. I think country music tells the best stories, so I can see why you want to do something in country music too.
Well, I'm a storyteller, and when I write songs, they're always based around a guitar. And even as a kid, I listened to country music because I spent a lot of years in Jamaica. My mother's Jamaican. Mm-hmm. So as a little boy, until 12. So they played a lot of country music too down there back then when I was a kid. And I always liked country music because it was great for telling stories, and it told great stories. And so I've always written like that. So it's not like I'm just trying it for some fad. It's always been a part of my fiber.
Yeah. And
it's just the way I tend to write,
That is awesome, and and your heart, you've lived a cool life, being in Jamaica, and then you started out. You was raised in the UK, went to Jamaica, now you're back here in the States, and so you've traveled the world, haven't you?
I've been blessed, I've seen most of the world, and I've had a passion for traveling, still do it, even on my own time, but. Our life is short, Tim, and the world isn't as big as we think it is. So if you can see as much of it as you can, and the more you see, the more you understand, so.
Yeah, absolutely. And boy, it gives you a lot of inspiration to write songs, too, when you do that.
Oh, yeah, I'll give you a story. I mean, Jamaica, for instance, I go up in the hills and I spend time with people who are farmers and who get up at 3 in the morning, they're in the field before sunup. When they come back, their hands are caked with dirt in the nails and boots and stuff like that. And I'll sit there and I'll talk to them and just sit and chill because my wife's uncle was a farmer. And I'd go up in the hills and I'd just sit down with him and talk, man, because people who put their hand in the soil are genuine people.
Yeah.
Then if you live all your life in the concrete world, you kind of get detached from the real meaning of life, you know what I mean?
Yep, that's right. Those fruits and vegetables may come from Walmart, but that's not where they actually come from, is it? It's those ones that put their hands in the dirt that make that happen.
And if you get them ripened from the tree or from the soil, pretty mature, it's unbelievable to taste.
Oh.
So the supermarket food don't compare to the stuff that you grow and pick off the tree when it's ripe. I've experienced that a lot of my life, and I still go back and do it.
I have too. It's the best. I actually, when I was in San Diego, that's where I went to broadcasting school, but I played golf out there quite a bit, and we picked an orange off an orange tree right there on the golf course, and it's the best.
Oh yeah, it's warm. The sun is warming his flesh, so the water, the juice in your mouth is warm from the sun. There's nothing like it, Tim. So you and I know what we're talking about.
That is true, boy. That's the good stuff. Former member of the Drifters, lead singer, and you were with a group called the Persuasions too. Now, tell me about the process of becoming the lead singer of the Drifters. That's a great group. I love them.
Well, I didn't sing the lead with that group because they had the original singer then and the original bass singer. I was singing background with the group.
Okay, background with them, lead for the Persuasions. Okay.
Yes. So it's kind of a turned around process, because when I was like 13 years old, I met one of the members of the Persuasions, and he taught me harmony. And the knowledge he gave me allowed me later in years to audition for the Drifters and make it. And toured with the Drifters for almost 10 years. And then an opportunity came up where I got a call from Persuasions to sing on their album, Persuasions Sing the Beatles. And from that relationship, I went full circle and started doing albums with them. And when that lead singer of the group left, the first lead singer, Jerry Lawson, tremendous lead singer and arranger himself, I was called in to join him on the next album. And one thing led to another. I started arranging the songs and became the de facto lead singer for the group since then. And it's been an amazing journey.
That is awesome. And it says that you're also a singer-songwriter, an author, and a show producer. So that's all good stuff.
Tim, I've had the pleasure of writing with people like Jorma Kaukonen from Jefferson Airplane and Hot Tuna, who was a very good friend, and we've written songs together and recorded together. I've just been blessed, man, you know. I've had a blessed life. I worked with Bruce Springsteen's Steve Van Zandt on his album. Mm-hmm. You know, worked with Bare Naked Ladies, a Canadian rock group.
Yep.
Arranging an album, a vocal album with them. So I've been blessed, man. You know, I've been blessed.
That is awesome. Does your phone just kind of like ring off the hook and people say, hey, I got a song idea, I got a collaboration, things like that? Do you co-write with others? Do you write just by yourself?
A lot of time I write on my own, but I always have the door open to collaborate. Like if I hear an artist that I like, I'll start thinking about how they sing or how they play. Like with Jorma Kaukonen, that was the case. He has a ranch called Furpy's Ranch where artists come to the camp and they instruct general people how to improve their musicianship in Pomeroy, Ohio. And so listening to his guitar picking style, because he has a very unique guitar picking style, I heard him in my head, so I started writing a song with that. And I said, Jorma, we got to write a song together. But I'm open to collaboration. But I do get, you know, people sending me snippets of ideas and say, hey, you should write about this theme, you should write about that thing. Uh-huh. And I tell them thanks, you know, but I'm open, man. I like working with people because you can only grow when you work with someone else, you know?
Right.
But not everybody wants to collaborate. There's, you know, some people like to work on it for themselves.
Right. Well, and I ask that because a lot of people that listen to this show, you know, the independent artists support the other artists, and everybody wins when we work together. And a lot of great collaborations have come between people listening to this program, and they've even got together and done some duets together vocally. So I think that's really cool.
I like that. You know, I'm open. You know, my ears and doors open.
Yeah.
So.
That is great. Well, our ears are open too for this first song I'm getting ready to play, called Backseat with the Radio On, In the Backseat with the Radio On. Tell us about this one.
Well, you know what it is. Being in love, you know, it's about, I wrote a story about a relationship. You know, you fall in love with somebody, you get married, you get kids, and job pressure, everything gets to you, and you start to lose the personal attraction with each other. You start to get a little bit lazy, or you're just too tired. And the song is to remind us that, you know, don't lose the passion. You know, you remember when you first met, the things you did, and everybody knows what the backseat of a car is like.
Yeah.
You know? So the song is about a theme that I think most people can relate to. You know, you know, there's passion, man. You know, in a relationship, it's the passion that kept you together in the first place, and you should never forget that. You know, sometime you will get tired, and day-to-day life and commitment will dull that process, but you always got to try to revive it, you know? And
absolutely. You know, in my day, and you may be around the same age as me, but it was backseat with the radio on at the drive-in movie before the movie started. Then you jump to the front seat to watch the movie.
I think we know about that. I remember driving movies very well.
Yeah, that is there's some classic movies. I saw Grease for the very first time at the drive-in movie.
Oh man, did you see the whole movie?
I did. John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. I've seen it many times since.
Well, that was a joke. That was a joke, Tim.
Yes, I did watch the movie. And John Travolta's actually singing, and there's a drive-in scene at that movie, you know, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I love those classics, and boy, the Drifters, they made some classics, didn't they?
They certainly did, you know, and I had a chance to meet a lot of the original guys. Benny King, I knew him. I used to laugh. I said, Benny reminded me of my dad, who looked like my father. Then there was Doc Green, and there's Charlie Thomas, Ellsbury Hobbs, the original bass singer. It was great. It was history, man. You know, I got a chance to work with Wolfman Jack, Dick Clark, and all those people. So
Wow.
I call it the School of American Rock and Roll University I went to.
Yep, that is awesome.
I met every kind of guy and got to know them and asked them questions. You know what I used to ask them, Jim?
What's that?
I used to ask them about songwriting. I used to ask them, you know, what would you say to me, you know, as a want to be an original artist? And you know what Benny King told me? It says, be yourself.
Yeah.
He said, don't try to copy anybody. Be yourself, because if one of your songs gets recognized and people enjoy it, everything you've written will become brand new, because everybody's going to want to hear your rest of your music. But he said, don't copy anybody, just be yourself. And I've always lived by that credo. So when I write, I don't write with any particular thing in mind. I just write whatever I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep working on it until I say exactly what I want to say. And Backseat and Rita said everything I wanted to say about it, you know.
Yeah, and that is so true. You know, there's these young ones of kids and grandkids of great country music stars in the past, like Conway Twitty's grandson, Loretta Lynn's granddaughter, Emmy Russell's currently on American Idol, and I'm playing her music. And they have to be themselves. They can't be grandma. They can't be grandpa. That's already been done. But they have a different, unique sound of their own, and I think that's what's so neat and fresh in the world of country music today.
Well, I'll give one advice to anybody who wants to be in this business. Here's the problem: if you concoct some fake identity for yourself, and that fake identity takes off, you're doomed to have to live that fake identity for the rest of your life.
Yes.
That's why some of these artists go off the deep end, because characters were created for some of them that were not really who they are.
Yeah.
So my advice is learn to live with yourself, mature your art through who you are, and if people embrace it, you'll never be depressed. You'll never feel that you have to do anything you don't want to do, because you're going to be doing you for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
That's all it is. That's a secret.
And if a song that they make is great and it hits big, we anticipate the next one. We can't wait to hear it, can we?
Right, but they'll be doing themselves, so it'll be easy to create another one or another branch of who you are. But if you create some weird, phony narrative of who you are, you're doomed to forever be that weird character.
Yep.
You know, you don't want that for yourself, so please be you.
That is exactly right. Well, we're glad you're you, Dave Revels, and we're going to play In the Back Seat with the radio on and come back and talk some more on the Tim Kelly Show. You bet. The Tim Kelly Show from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on this Triple Play Thursday.
I love you. I know you love me too. But time and kids and all of life's little precious, that got between us and our own simple pleasures. There's no denying we've been out of step, a little lost, century and out of breath. I do believe somehow between us two, we can find a space for me and you. So radio on.
That is In the Back Seat with the Radio On. His name is Dave Revels, and you just heard the story behind the song, and that's why I love doing these interviews. It's always a pleasure to interview artists that make great music like you, my friend.
Thank you, Tim.
Absolutely. Music's probably in your blood. You grew up in the UK and then went to Jamaica, and now you live in New York, but you've traveled the world like we talked about, but it's always been about music for you, probably from a very young age, hasn't it?
Yeah, and it was humming along to songs, as from a kid. And like most people, when you hit high school, that's when whatever you're going to be starts to kick into gear. And I started in a glee club, and that's when people heard me sing. Uh-huh. And then other people who were musically oriented gravitated towards me and formed our first group in high school. And, just kept going from there. I did theater for a while, a little theater in college. Uh-huh. But music, there was just something about singing that had that immediate connection with an audience that I just fell in love with. Yeah. Especially the live performance aspect of it. I love performing live because that's when you get to really touch people and they touch you. So I'm a 100% advocate for live performances. Yeah. I don't have to be on a studio.
You were telling me that the other day when we were talking, and this little area of Branson is only 10,000 people in Branson, Missouri, but it's called the live show capital of the world because there's so many theater seats here based on the population. We have over 58,000 theater seats in Branson, so there's lots of shows here and lots of theaters and places to play, and people flock to live entertainment, don't they?
Yeah, they do, because, the thing about what live entertainment is, it's very important that we do things with a group of people around us, because we feed off of each other's emotions. Yep. And when you go to a show, it's a very uplifting experience. So people tend to come to shows because if they're mad about something, if they're sad about something, if they're sick and they want to feel better, being in the company of other people celebrating, an art form like music where somebody's singing to you and you get to sing back and clap and applaud and it's going, yeah. It releases all these great things in your body that makes it feel good. So, yeah. Live performance is critical to the human spirit, man.
Absolutely. It's a 2 or 3 hour escape from what's going on in the rest of the world, and it just gets crazier and crazy every day. And so that's why I've been doing this show and keep doing it for the last 12 years now. Wrapping up this month, it will be our 12th year. And I love doing it because it's a 3 hour escape, and you get to hear a lot of great music and music that I've never even heard before, let alone the listeners. So I get it every day in my email, and it's always a pleasure to put it out there to the folks to hear. But and that's what I recommend. If you like what you're hearing on the radio, go see these folks live.
Oh yeah, definitely, because we talk about AI, artificial intelligence, and these created images that they're putting words in the mouth of these animated things. The one place they can't fool you on is live. Yeah. So until they find a way to AI you live, you as an artist you're basically ministering to people. You're ministering to the psyche of the human spirit.
Absolutely.
So live music, I tell people, I don't care what's going on in your life behind the stage. When you come through that curtain, everything you give it to the audience. You hold nothing back because you don't know who's in the crowd who may be contemplating suicide. They may have a terminal illness. They may have a divorce they're going through. They may have bills they can't pay. But they came to your show to feel good. So how dare you think it's about you? It's not. It's about them. So I'm one of those people that I don't surround myself with anybody who is selfish, because you don't know who's in the audience or what they need from you that night.
That's exactly true. And for my birthday last October, we got to see the Oak Ridge Boys live, and Joe Bonzel medically retired shortly after that. So, these guys are up in their 80s and they're still performing live. They have those health issues and things going on behind the scenes, and he walked out on the shoulders of two guys because he just couldn't stand up, and he had to sit on a stool the whole time while he's performing. But they sounded amazing. So you never know what's going on in a person's life, whether it is the performer or those sitting out in the audience. And we were 5 rows back from the front, right in the middle of the stage, had great seats, and that's a memorable experience I'll remember the rest of my life. So
we need each other, man. We need each other. That's one of the reasons why I've worked so long in the live genre. I've been writing a long time, but it took the pandemic for me to realize that, I do want a recording career of my own.
Mm-hmm.
Because when COVID hit, we couldn't do nothing.
Yep.
So we have to turn within, and that's when a lot of people think really just soul searching, and a lot of people figured out their lives over that period, And but for me, a song, like I said, writing a song isn't completed until I perform it live.
Exactly.
Because the audience puts the last punctuation on it, by their reaction to it, and that's when the song to me is complete. If I just write a song, never perform it, the song isn't completed yet.
Yep. And when we got on this side of it, after 2020 was over, we sure do appreciate now and don't take for granted those live performances and the ability to get together and to sit next to each other in a big theater and a big venue and have the great time of our lives.
Oh yeah, man! Just when you see the person next to you smiling, and you return that smile. I mean, how spiritual is that?
Absolutely. You've got a great song. It's a production that we're going to play next. I love this one. It's called Stand Up America. Tell us about this one.
Well, Stand Up America was written, I started it before September 11, 2001. I say that because people shouldn't forget the date, right?
Mm-hmm.
I live in New York, so I saw the towers, right? I saw what it looked like. I saw the smoke. I saw the stream of smoke. But before September 11th, we were really at odds with each other, like we are now. Mm-hmm. Nobody was talking to each other. We had a lot of resentment and anger and all kind of things. And it troubled me because as a world traveler and going out of the country and working, I saw how different the rest of the world is. I saw how great this country is. And it bothered me that we were losing sight of it. So I started writing it. But then when September 11th happened, we changed. We started reaching out to each other again. We started wanting to know how the other person felt, regardless of race, color, religion, or standard in life, whether you're rich or poor, whatever. We're talking again.
Yep. So
I wrote the song, the rest of the song. The bridge hadn't been written yet. And I wrote the bridge because the bridge told the story of us coming together. It said, take a look around you at our gathering strength. Through the growing storm, be the bow that bends. When your neighbor needs you, be quick to lend a hand. Build a bridge wherever needed and mend a broken fence. That means a bridge across state lines, city lines, the neighbor next door to you, all those things. Mend the fences, let's communicate. And I wrote it because I realized when September 11th happened, Tim, our world had changed forever. And the certainty for our children and our children's children living a good life wasn't necessarily guaranteed. It had to be re-earned, and it had to be nurtured, and it had to be taught.
Yeah.
So I wanted to write a song that would remind us of that period, like the chorus of the song says, stand up, America, join hands and show the world we uphold these truths as evident. We're all equal on this earth. Stand up, America, for proudly we do hail. There are only 3 colors in America, the red, white, and blue. Meaning that I don't care if you're brown, black, whatever shade of color you are or religion. The only 3 colors is the colors of the flag that you're living under, that you're making a living under, and you have a roof over your head. So that's what the whole song meant to me. And I'll tell you a story. The first time I performed it at a big concert, by the time I got to the chorus and I started singing it, and I looked in the audience and people were mouthing the words. that they just heard for the first time. And I said, did I plagiarize somebody's song? But I realized what happened is that they understood the message right away, and they knew where the words are going.
Yeah.
So it was like they wanted to sing it. And by the second chorus, they were all singing it. And it moved me to tears because I wrote the song for that purpose, to remind us, you know, just all you got to do is travel outside of the country and see what people don't have.
Absolutely.
All you got to do is go outside the country and see governments that persecute their people, and you see what we have here. You know, but not everybody has the luxury or the blessing to travel the way you have and I have. So the song was my message to us to remember that.
I love that. You know, and you mentioned bridging those gaps that we have in this country, and we know how important that is, but we take that for granted sometimes. Well, here just recently, there was a bridge that got hit by a ship. It was the Francis Scott Key Bridge up there in Baltimore, and of course, Francis Scott Key is famous for writing the national anthem. And when that bridge got destroyed, you know, all that shipping stopped. Everything that we take for granted in getting our goods and services, you know, goes away. So it's very important to bridge those gaps. And now they're trying to fill that gap and rebuild that, and it's going to take a while.
But you know what? Everybody's on the same page.
Yes.
And so it's going to get done faster than later.
Yep.
And that's a lesson in life, you know.
And that's how America does it. They come back bigger and better, don't they?
Yeah, because, you know, we're, you know, this country, let's face it, was built by people who came from all over the world. They saw the opportunities, you know, and it's all these skills that people brought from other parts of the world. They were so, how would you call it? What's the word? They felt so blessed.
Yes.
And to have the opportunity to come here and make a life better for themselves, that they devoted themselves to this country.
Well, we're sure glad you came here from the UK, and now you're with us in the US. That is a blessing that we don't want to take for granted, and it's been a blessing and a pleasure to have you on the program tonight. We're going to play Stand Up America, and then the third song to kick off the top of the next hour. You went better than Love Potion number 9. You got Love Potion number 10.
Yeah, I was in a play called Love Potion number 10, and I wrote the theme song, and I always wondered, well, she wrote 9. If 9 was such a heck of a potion, what happened if she did number 10?
I love it. So we're going to do number 10. Where can folks find you on social media if they want to connect with Dave Revels? I'm looking at your website, but I'll let you tell it.
Well, it's daverevels.com. That's my website. It's be honest with you, I have to upgrade because, you know, I'm not, what do you call it, technically inclined like that. But I'm on Facebook. Just look at my name. Drop me a line, rebelsmusic@gmail.com if you want to drop me a personal line. That's my name with music on it. And I'm all over YouTube. You can see all my work on YouTube, all the songs I've written and who I've written them with, and all the different things I've done in my life. Tim, I can't tell you enough. I came from another country, and I've lived the American dream.
Yes.
I'm totally blessed and feel honored to have that opportunity. And so I want to give myself back like that because, I mean, I've lived a blessed life, you know. I mean, you know, I have everything I have. I have my own home, everything else that goes with the American dream. And I don't take it for granted, Tim.
Absolutely. And, boy, we don't take our friendship for granted. I'm sure glad you are one of mine. And we enjoy playing your music. And go see Dave Revels in a live performance, too. Absolutely. Well, thank you for the performances tonight on the radio. And we will talk again soon, my friend.
Thank you, Terry. Y'all can bring me to your hometowns, too, you know.
That sounds great. Absolutely. Stand Up America right now from Dave Revels on the Tim Kelly Show from KICR. Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on Triple Play Thursday.
Across this land, and though I haven't spoken with each and every man, still I have learned a simple truth, which covers old and covers new, that we are one, we're all the same. We know laughter, we know pain. We seek love, long for truth. We walk in familiar shoes across our land of many names. We're no different That's the red, the white, and blue. There are those who would dispute based upon our colors and our many views that our difference are too wide. Our difference are too wide for us to hope to find a lasting compromise. We are one, we're all the same. We know laughter, we know pain. We seek love, long for truth. We walk in familiar shoes across a land of many names. We're no different, we're all the same. So come together now. Stand up, America. Join hands and show the world we uphold this truth that's evidence. We're all equal on this earth. Stand up, America. For proudly we do hail. There are only three colors in America. That's the red, the white, and blue. Take a look around you at a gathering strand through the growing storm. Neither bold that day. And when your neighbor needs you, be quick to lend a hand. Build a bridge wherever needed, and mend a broken man. Stand up, America. Join hands and show the world we uphold this truth that's evidence. We're all equal on this earth. Stand up, America. For proudly we do live. There are only three colors in America. That's the red, the white, and blue. Come together now. Stand up, America. Stand up, America. Stand up, America.
Another hour of the best in new country starts now on Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best.
Hey! Well, the last time that I saw her, I was a boy, barely half a man. She put a whammy on me, the likes that I'd never seen, and I haven't been the same since then. Now she's back, this gypsy queen out of New Orleans, specializing in a spell or two. She said, come here, son, let me whisper in your ear and sprinkle some of these just on you. You see, it's not 1, 2, 3, don't leave it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. This time it's 10. She said 10, man. I mean 10, she said it's 10. Yeah. Now strange things started happening, like pianos playing out of tune, guitars floating in the air, people plain disappear, even cows jumping over the moon. It got wild, a little crazy. I had no idea when I said, Gypsy Cash over there. She said, nothing, I was a guess, but this one here's my best, and I've been saving it just for you. You see, it's not 1, 2, 3, or even 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. It's time, it's 10. She said 10. Not 9, you see. She said 10. they never had so much fun. You know they ran up to me to ask the gypsy would she mix them a bottle or two, maybe three. I said, man, you must be crazy. You got no idea what kind of mess this woman spell can do. I got in trouble with one sip. Drink that bottle, you flip. You better think before you do. You see, it's not 1, 2, 3, or even 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. It's time to stand. She said 10. I mean, not 9. She said 10.